So Aaron Sorkin, for those of you who don't know, he was the creator of that show, The West Wing. And The West Wing is responsible for poisoning an entire generation of liberal minds. I mean, it really implanted in them the worst kind of liberal politics. It is like basically the main driving feature of neoliberalism and the new Democrat philosophy and triangulation. Basically like all of us serious Democrats agree with Republicans and screw over the left time and time again. And it's like, you know, this elite attitude of like the rabble doesn't know what they're talking about. The left wing doesn't know what they're talking about. We're like the reasonable centrists who know how to deal with the right and get things done. And then those things that they get done are mostly shitty ideas, right? So The West Wing was a horrible show. And so Aaron Sorkin, from this brilliant mind, he gave us this op-ed, which I'm about to walk you through. And you're going to see, of all the things I've heard in the modern era, ideas for how Democrats should proceed, this is the single dumbest thing I've ever read in my life. So here we go. This is in the New York Times. How I would script this moment for Biden and the Democrats. The Paley Center for Media just opened an exhibition celebrating the 25th anniversary of The West Wing, the NBC series I wrote from 1999 to 2003. Please. Some of the show's story points have become outdated in the last quarter century. The first 5 minutes of the first episode depended entirely on the audience being unfamiliar with the acronym POTUS, while others turned out to be, well, not prescient, but sadly coincidental. Gunman tried to shoot a character after an event with President Bartlet at the end of season 1, and at the end of the second season, in an episode called Two Cathedrals, a serious illness that Bartlet had been concealing from the public had come to light, and the president, hobbled, faced the question of whether to run for re-election. Yeah, he said in the third season opener, and I'm going to win. Which is exactly what President Biden has been signaling since the day after his bad night. Because I needed the West Wing audience to find President Bartlet's intransigence heroic, I didn't really dramatize any downward pull that his illness was having on his re-election chances. And much more important, I didn't dramatize any danger posed by Bartlet's opponent winning. But what if the show had gone another way? What if, as a result of Bartlet revealing his illness, polling showed him losing to his likely opponent? And what if that opponent, rather than being simply unexceptional, had been a dump truck of ignorance and bad intentions? What if Bartlet's opponent had been a dangerous imbecile with an observable psychiatric disorder who related to his supporters on a fourth grade level and treated the law as something for suckers and poor people, and was a hero to white supremacists? We'd have Bartlet drop out of the race and endorse whoever had the best chance of beating the guy. The problem in the real world is that there isn't a Democrat who is polling significantly better than Mr. Biden, and quitting, as heroic as it may be in this case, doesn't really put a lump in our throats. But there's something that Democrats can do that would not just put a lump in people's throats with its appeal to stop Donald Trump at all costs, unity, but with its originality and sense of sacrifice. So here's my pitch to the writer's room. The Democratic Party should pick a Republican. At their convention next month, the Democrats should nominate Mitt Romney. Bruh. What did I tell you? What did I tell you about this guy? Nominate Mitt Romney? So he wants Biden to drop out and then have the Democrats nominate Mitt Romney. In 2012, he was the Republican candidate. In 2012, Democrats were correctly and accurately saying, man, this guy's bad news, bro. He wants to cut taxes for the rich. He wants to deregulate corporations. He's hawkish on foreign policy. Like, what are we? No, hell no. Back then, oh, it's the most consequential election ever, Obama versus Romney. And now Democrats are like, isn't that Romney guy great? No, he's not. Look, I need Democrats, liberals, and leftists to start thinking first and foremost about policy. For the love of Christ. I looked it up. You know what percentage of the time Mitt Romney votes with Donald Trump? 75%. So this guy wants the election to be Donald Trump, who is 100% Trump, against 75% Trump, or 3/4 Trump. If your contention is Trump is bad, maybe you shouldn't say, let's put in 3/4 Donald Trump. Oh my God. Nominating Mr. Romney would be putting our money where our mouth is, a clear and powerful demonstration that this election isn't about what our elections are usually about, but about stopping a deranged man from taking power. Surely Mr. Romney, who doesn't have to be introduced to voters, would peel off enough Republican votes to win, probably by a lot. The double haters would be turned into single haters, and the Nikki Haley voters would have somewhere to go. Miss Haley having disqualified herself when she endorsed the leader of an unsuccessful attempt to overthrow the government. Oh my God. Oh my God. He has the political knowledge of a goldfish. He's like, look, man, if you run Mitt Romney, Democrats are going to win easy. Why? Think about it. He's going to peel off all the disaffected Republicans, the Nikki Haley voters, the anti-Trump Republicans. He's going to get all them. So he's going to win. What is he missing in his dumbass equation? Oh, that's right. You piss off the entire Democratic base. The entire Democratic base. The amount of disrespect and hatred and indifference that's targeted at core Democratic base voters, real lefties, is astonishing. To these idiots, the only thing that matters is the center and the right. They act like the left doesn't exist. They're useless. They're stupid. And his brilliant idea is let's piss off the entire Democratic base, and that's an easy way to have the Democrats win. Joe Biden is struggling with Muslim Americans, Arab Americans, young voters, now people of color. How would a Mitt Romney pick? What? It's going to fire up the young people? Is that what's going to happen? Oh my God. Oh my God. I love this next part. You ready? Listen. Does Mr. Romney support abortion rights? No. Does he want to aggressively raise the minimum wage, bolster public education, strengthen unions, expand transgender rights, and enact progressive tax reform? Probably not. But is he a cartoon thug who did nothing but watch TV while the mob he assembled beat and used tasers on police officers? No. Okay, so let me sum this one up for you. He's literally arguing policy doesn't matter. Policy is irrelevant. Hey, idiot. The only reason I got involved in politics, and I think about politics all the time, is because of policy. I want to fix the country. I want to make it better. I want people to have health care and higher wages and us to have beautiful infrastructure all across the country. For you to say, I know we're doing this politics thing and the root of politics is policy, but put the policy aside. What are we fucking doing here? I'm sorry, this is fucking liberal brainworms if I've ever seen them. And of course, this is the guy who wrote The West Wing, which is a show that is like just deified by the usual suspects, the corporate Democratic hacks. But this is the end logic of it. Pushing the Democrats further and further and further right until they say, well, Mitt Romney has civility and decorum, and we're really voting for civility and decorum. Okay, but if Mitt Romney decides we're going to do war with Iran while having civility and decorum and delivering a calm speech on it, I'm still against the war with Iran. Oh my God. I'm going to kill myself. These are the adults in the room. These are the adults in the room. Here are the adults. This is the shit that the adults are saying. The choice is between Donald Trump and non-Trump, and the not-Trump candidate needs only one qualification: to win enough votes from a cross-section of Americans to close off the former president's electoral college path back to power. Okay, by the way, if people were truly thinking about it from this perspective, the answer is clear. Every poll shows a generic Democrat is up 6 points on Trump. Every poll. There was one from a couple months ago, and there was one from just the other week. 6 points up, generic Democrat. So you would pick the world's most generic Democrat. You would pick Tim Walz or J.B. Pritzker, right? That would be your choice. But they're not really thinking about it like that. This idiot wants Romney, and then, the Democratic Party is kind of coalescing around Kamala, who I think is the second weakest, but still better than Biden, right? But Mitt Romney. Part of the wish fulfillment of the West Wing was that oratory can be persuasive, so Barack Obama could come forth at the Democratic Convention next month in Chicago and remind us once again that we're not red states and blue states, but the United States, by full-throatedly endorsing his old rival. And Mitt Romney could make the case that the Democrats are putting country before party in ways that the MAGA movement will not, and announce his bipartisan cabinet picks at the convention as well. Unbelievable. Okay, not even Barack Obama could sell Mitt Romney. being the nominee for Democrats. And the idea that he said, this isn't about red states or blue states, really? Because it sure does seem like it's about red states, since you're saying, I know we're up against red, but let's put up red of our own. What you're saying is this to blue, right? This is what you're saying to blue. All right, we don't need to read any more of this, but you ready for this? So he releases this article. It's hilarious. It's like you couldn't make this up. This is like a parody of what Aaron Sorkin would say. And there's so much backlash that a day later he's like, I take it back. Oh, really? You mean the asshole who wrote a show from 1999 that poisoned liberal brains doesn't have his finger on the pulse of the current political mood in the country? Shocker. Shocker. God, I fucking hate these people so much. God, I fucking hate them. But I have to admit, this is so out of touch and so fucking stupid that even other people I hate would see through it. Like, I have no doubt that, like, if Joyanne Reed were to look at this, she would mock it, right? And me and Joyanne Reed have so much to disagree on. Or like Rachel Maddow. We have so much to disagree on. I think they have the liberal brainworms. But this is so bad that other people with liberal brainworms can say, bro, you don't just have liberal brainworms. You have liberal brain snakes and badgers and mice and you're a mess. You're a mess. I hate this guy. The West Wing sucks. Aaron Sorkin sucks. And his ideas are stupid. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.